This right here gonna be a cakewalk.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I want to put all of the lore discussions on hold. In this video we're going to be talking about some of the things that's happening on Twitter. Now there's some big things and there's also some little things, and then there's also some stuff that may eventually become something, but also it could become nothing. Who knows? Only time will tell. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Also, hey, might as well go ahead and leave a like on this video. Let's start off. The first thing that I want to talk about, King Ruckus @ me on Twitter and says, hey man, been watching your vids lately, nice work, thank you. Payday 3 has been announced. Maybe Harada's hinting has something to do with that. Either he's played it, some Tekken stuff will be content in it, or both. For those of you who don't know what's happening here, basically over the course of November, December, kind of October, Harada was just randomly talking about Payday. No clue, no reason, it didn't make sense. He just kept talking about the game. And then just recently on New Year's Eve, they announced Payday 3. And now we're wondering, will we get some Tekken related stuff in Payday? To me, I feel like it's very unlikely that we'll get Payday stuff in Tekken 8. I think it will be Tekken being DLC content or additions or something like that for Payday. I feel like that's kind of the way it will go, but we really don't know. This is kind of just an update to this whole situation because we have the plot is thickening, right? Harada's hinting and talking, and all of a sudden the game gets announced. There is a news article here from Harada. I'll just put the screenshots up on the screen because it's not really nothing too enticing, but basically what these two paragraphs confirm is that Tekken 8 is not the only game that Harada is working on. He does too say that Tekken 8 and development will take some time. For those of you who are wondering, this news article was released when we got the first trailer, so about October or September, whichever the first trailer was. Of course, the months has passed, but we're still not going to be coming up on a release date. And also, by the way, when you're talking about a release date and this goes into the Tekken World Tour Finals, they already confirmed that we will get something Tekken 8 related, a trailer, something, but that trailer will not have a release date. Before we dive into the esports and all the drama that's happening with Arslan, Pakistan, esports, the Tekken World Tour Finals, I want to talk about a tweet that I seen on Twitter. This tweet that I found very entertaining says, people are nagging about Nina, Anna, King, Armor King, June, and Asuka for Tekken 8, while Tekken 7 has these in the main roster. They respond to themselves and says, the Mishimas are the protagonists, but we talk about a fighting game and the characters mentioned have as much right to be in their game as the Mishimas, if not more, because they're actually alive. I think this is kind of an interesting argument. The thing with Tekken, and this has been true for every single game, they have tried to build a diverse roster, and I'm not talking about men versus women and all that stuff. I'm talking about just a wide variety of gameplay, fighting styles, techniques. And I do think when you have 5-6 Mishimas on the roster, it can get kind of repetitive, and if you remove one of them or merge some of them, then maybe you can add space for a new design, a new character, something that the community wants. I always ask anyone to name one Tekken game that has had a bad roster, and the answer usually is none of them really, and I think the same will be for Tekken 8. But let's talk about what's happening with Arslan. Let's get into that discussion. When you focus on the competition side of the Tekken World Tour, even though the regionals and online stuff was a lot of hassles, I still think the finals is going to be exciting, or at least was exciting. I have a tweet here from Arslan that rocked the whole entire community, but just to give a little bit of context, I first want to show you guys everyone who is participating. I won't read every name here, but I will just point out some of the ones that, you know, everybody knows, like Joey Fury, Speed Kicks, Joka, K-Swiss, AK, Shinakuma, Arslan, Latif Butt, Knee. So you can see that there's a lot of names here, but right here, last chance qualifier, there's 3 spaces that's available. Now the last chance qualifiers is filled. Every name that you can think of that's not in this bracket is probably in this last chance qualifiers. Anakin, Cuddle Core, it would be so many names I could list out the whole entire community, right? What was also expected to be in that last chance qualifiers was a lot of Pakistani players, but Arslan tweets that not only will he not probably make it, but all of the Pakistani players not make it. I'm just going to read the string of tweets so you guys can see how the story unfolds. 2 days ago, this is on New Year's, Arslan Ash says 2023 goal to win the Tekken World Tour final is the only thing keeping me motivated to play Tekken. A day later, Arslan says the Netherlands embassy is not issuing visas to Pakistan at all. Almost everyone who applied for a visa got rejected, and there's a high chance they will refuse Atif's application too. Arslan and Atif is the only two Pakistanis who are in, and those two can't even get one. Now, that doesn't even take into account all of the other Pakistani players who are in LCQ trying to get there. None of them can get their visas. And there was a lot of people saying like, oh, we'll go through Germany and go through France and go through Italy. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But you guys may not know who this Rick is, but this is the person who runs Combo Breaker. Like, this is the head guy at Combo Breaker. They say, I hope Bandai Namco can petition the embassy immediately. Pakistan deserves to be well represented at the Tekken World Tour finals. I do think the only way this can be resolved if Bandai Namco steps in. Also in the past, Red Bull stepped in to help Arslan get to America, but I don't know if Red Bull has that kind of power in, Amsterdam, in the EU. So maybe it would come down to Bandai Namco Europe. Are they able to get them access? Replying to everyone who was spamming go through Germany, Arslan Ash puts a picture and it says, applying for Germany or other countries is an option, but first we need an invitation letter from a specific country to apply for sports business visa. No appointments available for the next 3 months at least. Processing from Spain, for example, takes 2 months for an application. So you basically could see that. It's possible, but it takes a long time, more times than they have. The final tweet that he puts out says, unfortunately, I don't know if I can come to the Tekken World Tour finals this year. No one in PK has had their visas accepted to Netherlands yet. No one, he says. Tekken is a global game now. Asia, Africa, Middle East, South America, etc. Visas issues won't go away. Highly suggest a neutral venue for the next Tekken World Tour finals. The last one we had was Thailand. Of course, that's because they showed off Fakaram. Before then, I think they had one in New Orleans. I think they had one in San Francisco. They basically bounce back and forth between the EU and America. And the reason why they do this is because the majority of the player bases are in those two areas. North America makes up about 40% of the player base. EU makes up about 50% of the player base, and the rest of the world, Harada said, is about 10%. So that's the main reason why they choose these locations, because when they do a announcement, when they do a reveal, they want the majority of the audience to be watching. And I don't know if they will move it for Pakistan or for other regions who can't travel, because yes, they're super important in the esports aspect. Well, really, I would say in the whole entire aspect. Arslan Ash alone, not even including all the other Pakistani players, Arslan Ash alone has added so much to Tekken. His rivalry with me, Korea, all that stuff, Anakin, has fueled the hype for this game like no other. So maybe it is enough for them to reconsider. I don't know too much about geography in the world and who likes what country, and I don't know. So I don't know what neutral place they can pick. Maybe Germany, I don't know. But this is something that they should take into account, because this whole Tekken World Tour was a disaster like none other. The past ones did not have nearly as many flaws as this one. And I do think in Tekken 8, because that's probably when the next World Tour will start, they need to look at all these mistakes and try to think of a way they can avoid it next time. But that's pretty much it. That's everything that I want to talk about in this video. Thank you everyone for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like on this video, and until next time, thank you for watching, and bye bye.